Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Katayan where we discuss people and what they do. Hope you're having a fantastic and wonderful day. If you are, press the like button. Thank you very much. In today's episode, we're going to be treading lightly into the world of desperation. You know, that state of mind where people withdraw from reality. I'm your guy and the host you love the most, Toves. And joining me to Katayan about desperation are your own guys as well.
Hey, how you guys doing? This is Arinze. I do stuff, and today we're gonna be doing a podcast on desperation. I hope you enjoy.
It's your boy Johnny Boy back again. I know I love to talk about topics and issues and also have fun doing it. Nice to have you guys back again.
Yes, it's Ade, and I'm not here to party.
It's Sekeisha, and sometimes I talk with my face.
All right.
Yeah, man. Ade and Johnny Boy, remember a previous episode where we discussed about a woman who gambled herself away as a collateral to her landlord?
Damn, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the lady in this story takes the concept of collateral to the next level. Right now, picture this woman. Her name is Souza. She's from Brazil. She's had a rough time taking care of the family, extended family. So her desperation got her thinking, maybe I should go to the bank for a loan. So she decided to roll to the bank with her silent partner. Ade, can you guess who her silent partner is?
An imaginary person,
No.
imaginary friend, a ghost.
A side chick, a side guy.
Okay, and
Out.
Is it corpse?
is it?
Dead man.
Yes,
Cool.
you're absolutely right. Yes, it's an imaginary. It's not really imaginary, it's a ghost. Basically, she rolled into the bank her late uncle to go as a silent partner to sign and collect a loan. Basically, yeah. The interesting part of the story is not the fact that the uncle was late, is the fact that she was trying to pretend like the guy was alive. And there was a CCTV footage of the lady adjusting the man's neck before they went into the bank, and her saying to the uncle, we do like a cup of tea and stuff like that. So basically, her plan was to tell the tellers that they're seeing a ghost. I'm joking. She tried to get like $3,250 and she was arrested for, I think it's like something around victimizing the corpse and attempted fraud. So my first question is, yeah, but obviously in their currency it will be a lot of money, right? Now, my first question is this desperation or what are you going to...
I think she snapped. You know how everyone has that breaking point? I think she snapped. I think this one went beyond desperation. I think she probably broke mentally. That's where I think that's the point she was at. Because that's
Yeah,
not
she's
a
probably
safe-
doing something.
That's not a rational to do. There's no way you could rationalize, or you can be thinking rationally and think someone would believe someone who is obvious. There's a difference between a dead body and someone supposedly sleeping. I'm guessing that was the role her uncle was supposed to play, the sleeping person. There's a difference.
Yeah, she was basically, she said to the tellers, you could hear from the video footage and the report that she said to the uncle, are you ill? Are you feeling well? I said to the teller as well, he doesn't speak at all. That's the way he is. He doesn't talk. Nice. She turned around and said to the uncle, if you're feeling ill, I can always take you to the hospital.
I think she snapped.
Broken.
I think she
All
just
right.
she snapped. Whatever she must have been going through in her life, whatever hardship she must have been going through, must have made her snap. I understand people go for Hail Marys when they're desperate. I understand people want to reach for the stars one more time when they're desperate. You understand? But can't see how you could rationally think that's something that you get away.
It takes a lot of planning to do that.
Yeah, how do you mean?
But doesn't it and level of intelligence as well?
Like to come up, she could have thought of first options, right? But to think of her dead uncle and then taking him along with her to the bank,
Yeah, she rolled him in, by the way.
trying to con
Bank
the bank and to think that her
Yeah.
uncle was alive and she's trying to seek a loan. So, no, it's not something you just wake up and do. You have thought about it, thought about the pros, the cons, and then you pick the,
And
and then pick the
let me
pros.
see.
It's like, it just reminds me of Prison Break. Yeah, that's why I look at it. Michael Scofield, where he drew everything and had it planned. That's what I thought. But unfortunately, she got caught. That's all.
If we're gonna
That's sad.
if we're gonna call her a genius for that idea, I can see scenarios where that idea involving a dead person as part of your plan or something for some fraud. I can see a scenario where that could be genius. If you're like a murderer and you're pushing around a dead person, like, oh yeah, please, I need to take him to the hospital or something. You see someone slumped, you think, okay, the person is sick. It could work. But when you go into a bank and this person is supposed to be your partner in whatever loan you're trying to get, he's gonna have to engage with whoever it is that's gonna approve the loan, right?
It's like have a casual conversation type of thing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
please, hello.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that person is gonna be able to do that. You can't. There's only so many times you can say, "Oh yeah, he's just sleeping."
Yeah, that's why I said she didn't
Yeah,
consider the con.
I will
She
say it
didn't
again.
consider
She
the
had a casual conversation with the uncle in the bank. Yeah, but yes, Ade, let me think about this interest in story. Basically, it's an interesting story. Interest in story. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say this plan was already dead in the water before it started. Oh God, I'm a bit this. But yeah, it was. I mean, I agree with Arinze. A dead person. I mean, the skin. Except she's good at makeup, but the skin and for what kind of sleep is this guy collecting? Like, no. So I think the desperation was.
Yeah. The things I didn't look into the story too much because I'm very, very visual. I didn't try to watch the video. I didn't try to research how long the uncle was there because it's going to stay in my head for a long time. Because I still remember all the visuals from Crime Fighter days. So I don't want to keep that in my memory. And basically, so I didn't go into detail. But fact or fiction, when this woman was caught, she owned up and said it's a mistake. I didn't think about it. I thought I was going to get away with it, and I'm sorry for my action. Fact or fiction, that's what happened.
Fiction.
Fiction.
I think she was beyond desperate. I think she was broken mentally. And I think someone like her, I can see her committing to that story of no, he's not dead. He's blah, blah, blah.
Right. So that's what my next question is going to be. What do you think would have been an excuse?
She would have stuck to her story. She seems like that kind of person.
Well,
see the story true, man.
Well,
To the lie, it becomes the truth.
The thing is, there's two parts of the situation right now, right? Lo and behold, she actually said she thought the uncle was still alive. She didn't know he was dead until the ambulance worker confirmed that he was dead. That was one of her excuses. And again, when they showed her the CCTV footage, she said that she was not the person in the video. That they've already come to a conclusion that it's her in the video, it's not her in the video, that, people just want to believe what they want to believe, but that's not her. That was her excuse. So what's your take on that excuse? Was that genius or was that, again, desperation?
She's beyond redemption at this point.
I think she's broke.
Yeah, she's beyond redemption. I mean, if you're denying yourself when it's obvious it's you, okay, and that's a problem right there.
Right.
I like the commitment. I want to hire her. Man, very dedicated.
Right. So basically, credit where it's due.
But if she's able to convince the cops that that's not her, then she deserves an award for that.
I think she has a future in acting because that's a method.
I mean, acting or being law enforcement.
Oh,
So
method acting.
Sorry,
That's
as a lawyer rather.
how much commitment it is that it requires to hold on to your lie even after you be caught. And probably
She'll
believe
make a good
that's
liar.
what
What do you
I
mean?
said.
That's liar. The lawyer is the best for her. Convince your client that even if he's guilty, lie to you.
Can do both. Kim Kardashian is studying for a law degree now.
Yeah, but
that was the rumor.
The thing is, she also kind of said that maybe if anything like that is true, the action can be attributed to the side effect of her sleeping pills.
Blame it on the drug.
Pills.
As usual.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't want us to judge the lady. I don't like to judge people. I know that people know that already. So my question is, should desperation always override rational thinking? They say desperate times call for desperate measure, because she is thinking, I have family commitments, a lot of things to do. And she also said to the bank, in the first place, the reason for the loan, I forgot to say that in my initial overview of the story, she said to the bank that her uncle was actually the one that wanted to come and get the loan because they needed the money to renovate their family home. He's never worked in their life, so he needs the loan. So should desperation always override rational thinking?
Okay, is your question should it or
Should it? Yes.
the difference? She and a man being desperate is a man would have gone with a gun. She went in with what she had, her wit, her brain, what
Her
she
brain.
could. A man would have gone in with a gun. A desperate man. That's
So you're bringing in gender as well. Like gender also has a role to play in this
but
one
we're
as well.
leaning to what we naturally feel like we can get away with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's more about a gender thing because if let's even break it down to like men. If okay, let me use this example of like trying to talk to a girl. Different guys have different approaches and different ways they try to like woo a woman. Some people use money, some people use looks, some people use personality, jokes, whatever works for you, whatever weapon you've sharpened over time that you know has for you. That's what
Skill.
you do.
Let's say skill, not weapon. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. So I don't think it's more of a gender thing. I think her plan on the surface seemed very innocent, and it seemed like something that will make them like, oh, this lady brought her uncle to get a loan. It seemed like
Without hurting anybody at all, too.
right. But a man, I don't think. First of all, I don't know many men that take care of their uncle like that. So already that's like pushing your uncle into a bag. I think that will raise eyebrows more if a man did that. That's what I think. I think a man would have thought more in the sense of like, I'm going to take it instead of I'm going to nesting. If a man is going to come up with a scam, I don't think he'll go with the uncle angle. That's what I think.
Right. Yeah, so like I said, we all agree now that desperation causes people to withdraw from reality, you know? Yeah, fair enough. Then my next question is, what alternative would you propose to someone in this kind of situation? Instead of where they are so desperate, they have no collateral, for example. You can't gamble yourself away to the landlord, discussed in the previous episode. What alternatives could this lady, Souza, have pursued? Because I'm trying to think that she lives in a poor part of Brazil and there's no one that could loan her money, you know?
Rob the bank. Really. But I don't know, because I'm thinking it's not my story. It's someone I know. She worked with a family where the mom committed suicide. They had no money to bury her, right? There was no money. But she had a credit card out in her name. So the dad had used her credit card after her passing to pay for everything. I think he used about 7K. And obviously nothing happened to him because the credit card company wrote off the debt because she had passed away, even though he used it after her death. So that was fraud. I don't know if they can do that in Brazil. Maybe that would have been an option.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I don't even know if she has access to credit card, but we're saying alternatives. So alternatives and alternative, yeah. And Johnny Boy, what alternative do you think she could have used in her act of desperation in a lovely bank ATM atmosphere? Like, how would she have gotten away with?
Damn. That's a tough one now. She probably has an account with the bank already, I guess. Has to go to the bank.
Yeah.
Probably a line of credit or something, I don't know.
Yeah, but if she had that, she will use that, isn't it? Because we all agree this is desperation. There's no more rational thinking. There's no way, no hope. And that's her own way of trying to
maybe commit fraud. Yes.
Wow.
I'm sorry about that.
Was she a mother? Let's start from there because a mother is different from a woman that.
Yeah, I would say she's a mother. Yeah.
Oh man,
does she have relatives though? Does she have relatives like
brothers, an uncle is a relative, no?
No, I'm talking about like brother, sister.
The thing is, we don't know the lady. We don't know her. So I'm saying, what alternatives would you give? Like, just as whatever you want to imagine that scenario.
Okay, first of all, I'll go to my brother.
Yeah, because you're asking me like, I don't know her. I don't know if she has how many children she has.
Family members is the first point of call.
Well, I'm assuming if she's that poor, her family members are probably
then I will assume she probably belongs to a church, hopefully. Then that'll be my next point of call.
I advise her to see a bush baby. Find one.
Still debate.
Yeah.
Man,
Mm.
I
Yeah,
don't.
it's hard, isn't it?
It's I
I
think
think
I was scared that. Go ahead. Huh?
there's levels to desperation, and I don't feel like what she needed the money for. I'm just assuming that her house is that it was to renovate the house, right?
Yeah, that's what she
I'm
said.
assuming that
Yeah.
it probably did need a lot of work, but I don't think that that's enough for you to do what she did.
No, I would like to think that's an excuse for coming to get the loan. Basically said, my
Yeah, I
uncle
don't
wants to
think
renovate.
the
And
house.
she was looking, the main thing is she wants money. She just
Oh,
needed
well, then-
money. Yeah. Because she's bringing in
Oh,
a,
okay, so that's
yeah, go ahead.
no, I get it. I thought that she really was getting the money to renovate the home, not she used that as her excuse. Fucking get it.
No, there's so many, she had so many excuses, but I just think she just needed money because of desperate times. So then the question now is, if someone is going an extra mile like this, because even some of the suggestions have been the borderline criminality, final suggestion for the lady. Do you think does this story kind of bring a deeper conversation of access to finance, like how people can have access to credit, access to finance? Because I'm sure if she had access to credit or finance, she's not going to like take this kind of action. That's me thinking. But do you think that has a role to play here?
I think society, both society and individual have roles to play to create whatever utopia it is we're trying to create for ourselves.
Mm.
Okay. Like I think one of the competitions we've had on this podcast is about creating our wage baseline thingy for people, like a safety net for people. Because we don't know a lot about this woman, we don't know her family background, we don't know what her life is like. All we know is she was desperate and she came to finesse some money from the bank. So I don't know enough to present any solution to her. But as much as society has a responsibility to take care of the members in its ecosystem, we as individuals have to help society help us. You can't be poor and having 10 kids. You can't be poor and wanting some things that is like, if you're at that point in life, you're supposed to live on like the most basic of me. It's just roof over your head, food in your belly, mats to sleep on. That's where you start from there. Then you start building up. That's what I think. So it's a balancing act between society and individual responsibility. That's what I think.
Just to piggyback on what you're saying, I agree with you, because I was listening to this pastor, I think it's Pastor something Olumide Emmanuel, and he was saying something about like cutting down on cost. He was talking about everybody
Let me do an AFTV tie. There are so many Olumide Emmanuel available. So thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So he was talking about cutting down on cost and stuff. Like most of our needs or most of the things we spend money on is based on perception of others. So we spend because we see others that are spending, or we believe that, oh, you must do this, you must do that. He brought an example of nobody told you have to eat 3 times a day.
True.
You can survive on eating once a day. And he made a good point. It's like, true. You can actually survive by eating once a day.
Yeah.
So if you know you have to eat just once a day to survive, then do it. You don't have to eat 3 times a day. It's not.
And it's always just for a while. It's not a forever thing.
It's not a written rule. So if you have to cut down costs, you have to cut down costs. So that's what we should do. That's what she should do, basically. So yeah.
Fair enough, Ade.
So I guess I don't need to go and find a push baby anymore than the eating once a day.
That's an example he was giving. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But what if she doesn't have
having one kid? If it means having just one kid, have one kid. You don't have to have 2, 3, 4 now.
The thing is, if you see the picture of the lady, you
jam
know
that.
that she's not even eating. If you see the picture of the lady, you see that she doesn't even have enough to eat. Not even talk about 1 or 3 or 4.
Well, like she needs the money for renovation. That's what we're saying, right? She needs the money.
To be honest,
for
I
renovation.
think
She doesn't need it for renovation.
I know she doesn't, but like I'm trying to go.
I think this whole thing is just education. Education doesn't, and I don't mean university. I mean just there's some basic concepts that you learn
Change your mindset. I think that
about survival, that you learn about living life. It's like the basic one is don't have more kids than you can take care of. It sounds very simple, but it's like I remember a lot of my relatives, my uncle that my uncles that still have the mindset of now God they give pikin. No, now God they give pikin, yes, but you have
Yeah,
to
man.
help God help you,
You have control over the amount of children you have.
right? So I'm not gonna say like I don't like we said we have only very little information about this woman, so there's only so much we can say. But I think you have to help the government help you. That's it. If you're gonna want free healthcare, free health insurance, you have to stay relatively healthy because you don't want the government spending that much money trying to take care of you because you're eating yourself to the point of where only you have diabetes, you have this one, you have that one, you have that one because you've
Taking
done
it down
that.
from other people. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So let's take it away from government for a bit, right? Away from government, because still on societal aspect. Do you think like societal pressure, not in terms of peer pressure, but the urge of people to maintain appearance, to look a certain way, to maintain a certain lifestyle, do you think that will have a role to play in people's desperation? Not just this woman now, okay? Like people's desperation in general. Do you think that would have a role to play, societal pressures?
Bro. 100%.
I was having this conversation at work about the younger generation, like 25 below, and how they have this culture of getting into debt. Like they're so unbothered, like my age, we don't want to be in debt. We get stressed and anxiety from just the thought of student loan. But 25 and below, they're so comfortable getting loans out, having debt, just to look a certain way. I know a few young girls that will sleep on the floor just so that they could have like the latest Dior bag, shoes, and what.
And just what I said. Nobody told you to eat 3 times a day, right? You can survive on 1, twice a day. You don't have to eat 3 times a day. You don't have to dress a certain way. You don't have to wear the most expensive shoes. And example of your Mark Zuckerberg, he dress pretty modest.
I hear what you're saying, but Mark is not a good example for this point because what we think is simple for what Mark Zuckerberg is wearing. You know, have you seen the prices of each of those black t-shirts, the gray t-shirt? Each one is $3,000. They're custom made for him. So I get your point, but he's not a good example.
No, but my point is about being simple.
He's not that way. He's black.
I know, I understand what you're saying, but like I'm saying in terms of simplicity.
Can you call one thing? So he's not a good example. But I get your point.
Because it's in life stages, right? Maybe people are looking at you at 30, 40, but once you go to like 50, you don't care what people say, you know? So why are you caring about what they think when you're 30? When you're like 40, 50, you don't care again.
The problem I have with this situation is people that act shocked when the consequences of their actions come to bite them in the butt. Like using second example of like ladies that like go into debt for whatever designer it is they're trying to get. Like if you're willing to make that bet on yourself of like, I would rather be hungry and destitute and look good while doing it. If that is the cross you're willing to bear,
fake it till you make it.
Respect to you 100%. But don't say the world is wicked if you make that choice and this is happening to you. It's like, no, you can't eat your cake and have it. That's my own.
Enough. Now, speaking about jail, would you rather have a get out of a real life, get out of jail free card, or a key that opens any bank's vault?
Get out of jail.
Get out of jail free card.
Why?
Told you they will even let you go to the vault to use the key.
Freedom.
What if you lose that? What if you can't do?
What if you lost your card?
What if
No, you can't lose it, get
What
out
if you enter the vault and then you're trapped inside the bank?
Or there's nothing even inside. They just give you the key to deceive you.
Give me that freedom of getting out of jail free.
Yeah,
And I can still rob the bank with the get out of jail free card.
True.
exactly.
At any other bank, it doesn't have to do that
It
particular
doesn't
one.
have to be a bank.
In fact, I can rob multiple.
Yeah,
because the
true.
same day, the same crime.
True.
What?
There's a movie like that where you can commit crime for a particular. There's a movie they made.
The part.
Yeah.
No, in that situation, get out of jail free card. First of all, the first thing I'm doing is go to get a carjack one Lambo or something. Go and sell it.
Wait, is there a limit to
We'll
how
go and
much
do
we
the
can
robbery.
use the car?
Oh yeah, no, nobody will be inside. You know all them New York skyscraper parking lot. Go and jack one of those cars. I'd rather learn how to carjack and know I'll get out of jail than opening a bank
You
vault.
can rob all of them. Take
What?
all of them. You can say all of them. You can rob all of them.
Means you
Do
can do
fraud.
anything you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus,
That's
there,
all, man.
punishment.
plus there's no money in the bank vault anymore anyway, so I don't think.
Bank
Uh,
vault. Now,
Yeah,
if,
because everyone.
they're
if you have a key that
How
can,
many
open,
people use cash?
that can open any door, that's different
Oh.
from bank vault. Any door. I think I'll.
Yeah, we're looking at unlimited cash here, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, get a jail-free card.
You might have the key to open any door, but security will be there and they won't let you shove that key into the keyhole. Anyway,
True.
Yeah.
And you might be
better
you might be shot
walk away.
trying to do that.
Exactly.
True.
And
You
you
know
know that sometimes you
you
do a vault.
are
Yeah,
thinking
but you have
too
to
far.
think.
You are
Yeah, but you
thinking
have
of-
to.
Well, thinking of
You
No,
have
you have
to.
to. Because you might go
Imagine
into the vault
that-
and then, like the safety deposit boxes.
Yeah.
And
Hold on.
those have
Let me-
individual
let me
codes.
True.
think.
So
So let me think.
Thank you.
You have a key that can
Go on,
open
man.
any door, yeah? First things first, go and apply to be a cleaner in one of all the companies that go and clean billionaires' houses. Billionaires are very paranoid people. They keep a lot of safes in their house. Walk in, walk out. You
There's
clean
the city.
CCTV
he is
There's
only
the
to a back
CCTV.
vault.
everywhere in their bedroom.
Yeah,
No, I don't think
probably.
that's kind of freaky.
If I was a
And I mean,
billionaire, I'd have
you're
one.
the first person they're going to contact, right? You're the cleaner.
How am I? You could get me a good plan now.
And you might not get the job. You might not get the job. And is the key not only to a bank vault? It's not to
No,
a
I-
billionaire.
no, I'm
He's,
saying-
he's changing it to any kid that can open any door.
Hey,
That's what he's
Put
saying.
any. I say
Right.
Yeah, but do you still risk going to
get out
jail?
of jail,
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah,
Get out of
And
jail.
dying, man. I ain't ready for that. Dying. You could die.
Right.
True.
Get out.
So let's do two more. Two more. Would you rather sign an important document with a deceased relative? That's you're the one signing while holding the hand of a deceased relative, or present to a crowd of 50,000 people only when your underpants backward.
Wait,
The option.
wait, hold on.
Hungry me.
Wait, I
Come
didn't
again?
hear. Wait, what? Would I rather sign
Straight.
a document with
And
its relative's hand,
Yes.
or
Grandma
Or
holding your hand.
present in front of a crowd of like 50,000 people wearing only your underpants backward.
2000. One.
am I going to get in trouble? Am I forging a document with this relative?
No. You're not getting nothing.
You're just touching a dead person.
How is that a
Yes,
problem?
absolutely.
What?
No.
Okay, I'm
Bring
going,
the
I'm
crowd.
going with the
Guess
crowd.
what?
I don't
I'll
like.
do
I don't want
that
to talk.
with relative's hand on, then I'll do the crowd for free, for fun.
Now I'll do the
You
crowd.
said, would you
crowd.
rather? You do the
Would I
crowd.
rather?
God, I
This is
don't,
relative's
I'm not
hands.
for touching
The
dead.
crowd.
I'm not for touching dead people. Sorry.
Three
No. Unless you're Jesus.
deceased relatives hand. I'll put the three together on top like this. And
Nah,
sign it.
I'm not
What?
touching no dead person. You're dead. You're dead.
Wow. Seki.
I'm
Man,
going
I
with the
want
crowd. I don't mind touching the dead person, but I'm just believing that the deceased person is a loved one. And I don't know what I'm signing for. So I just feel like I might be signing something that they don't want that. So I'd rather go.
And
The
and the other
crowd.
part sounds fun as well. That's fun.
Exactly. I want my
And then-
loved ones to rest in peace.
That sounds so much fun.
Like they're already dead, not the alive.
It's
ones.
okay for you guys, anyways. But that wearing your pants backwards and whatever, that's fine. For us, it's not gonna be fun.
Well, you can wear the big pants, the granny pants, right?
Yeah, it would have to be. And then what? What about the bra? Wear a vest.
Oh,
Exactly. What? Final one for the episode, right? Would you rather go to the bank to secure a loan with a dead relative or walk through the Amazon forest blindfolded?
walk through the Amazon forest blindfolded.
Yes.
For how long?
yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to be
You walk through.
Fry,
No, you
fry-
have to, you have to go through it.
Yo,
if you
that's
come out,
crazy.
you come
That's-
out. You just go
You know how
That's a
blindfolded.
long. That's a long journey, bro.
Do you know how big it is?
Yeah,
Yes.
Nah, I
Yes,
go
that
with
is
the-
why I
go
said
with the
would you
bank.
rather.
Those two are not equally matched now, bro. Come on, give me
I go
like,
with the
like
bank.
give me say an hour. You said 30 minutes.
No, no an hour, no time limit. Well, the bank is going to be like 3 minutes. You can do it. Like take them in, secure a loan, or you just go in there blindfolded.
I go with the bank because
Going
if
into
the bank,
keep
there's a
your eyes
possibility.
open.
There's a possibility I'll get away with it with the bank. There's a very high
Go with the bank.
possibility.
No, with the bank you still get caught, but at least you go to jail. In the Amazon forest, you get killed immediately, blindfolded immediately.
Well, you might get it. You might not get. You might get.
There's
away
no
with it
way because number one, don't
What if
stop.
you have an insider in the bank? What are you talking about? I have cases like that right now.
No, we're
That's
talking of riding solo here. Just you, right? So right, don't have
Yes,
me-
just you.
No, I'll take my chances with the back. In the Amazon forest, blindfolded. Even with your eye open,
Yes.
you will still get killed.
okay, so
Oh, blindfolded.
That-
Blindfolded for sure. For sure, within the hour,
Yeah,
it's a wrap. For
I'm
you.
in the bank.
and then you can get a lawyer that can argue
Don't
your
already
case. And who knows, you
explore.
go
What
scot free.
would you rather?
No, I'm going in the bank.
Going in the
Because
bank
what? I'm
for
not
sure.
seeing anything in the Amazon rainforest. I want to
Yeah.
see stuff. I want to
Yeah.
explore blindfolded. So I'm going in the bank.
I don't know if Jaguar is behind
If
me.
I get
I
caught,
don't
I'm
know if
just telling
lion.
them
Nah,
that
nah,
I'm
nah.
mental.
I don't know if an anaconda is just looking at me as meat. No, hell no.
I'm even thinking about being in quicksand and then I'm just blindfolded, so slowly sinking. No. Snake wraps up now.
Nah, hell no.
I'm going in the bank.
Right.
Get
Fair
good
enough.
lawyer.
If you say
Okay.
cheat in the Amazon now, either way you're gonna die. Forget it. I'll take my chance with the bank. You're gonna die. There's no surviving that.
No use. None at all. Fair enough. So basically, we can empathize in a way. So at the end of the day, there's still a relative. So I think what she did was not as crazy as it was as we thought initially, because it's just a loved one, that she's taking to the bank. I'm sure if the uncle was alive, we'll probably go with her to sign the loan anyway. So she took uncle there.
Man, I just wanna. I want to hear that one.
Maybe I had an agreement before he died, and so like, no what, I'm gonna continue.
No,
Right?
no. I
That's
just
what-
want to hear that
I
one.
think
Or
I want to know her story because if he died on that day, I might be like, okay, her brain, like she was emotional. There was so much going
Yeah.
on. However, he looked like he had been dead for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Actually, no, his hand was still floppy, right?
Yes.
Hand
His hand was still
so he
floppy.
probably died at the moment, and she must have just been like, he was supposed to do this, and he's
he
died.
must have been plotting it. Because
Yeah, but the thing is,
that's
the other
not a-
side thing is she still knew that he was late and still did it. I think that's the main issue here.
yeah.
You
And
know,
even
maybe they had an agreement to go to the bank before he died. I think that's what
Oh,
happened.
No, because you could like in the video footage described. I didn't watch it. Like I said, it'll be too traumatic for me. Like they could see her from the CCTV footage, like trying to steady the man's head before she rolled him into the bank. So
You-
she was fully aware.
So what I mean is that before he died, right? Maybe they already planned to go get the loan together, and he died, right?
That's what she said, I think. Didn't
Oh,
she say
that's
that?
what-
Didn't she?
Oh, that's what you
Yeah.
mean. Okay, if that's what you mean.
That's not why. So no.
So she wanted to.
She just said. She just said.
stick to
I
the
don't
plan.
want to believe that. Sir. I don't want to believe that. They agreed. Oh yeah, let me go get a loan. I've not worked in my life. But I'm going to go get a loan. Like how does that happen? No collateral, nothing.
No, but it seems the uncle had an account to the bank, isn't it? Or had to go. The uncle, probably the uncle.
They had a joint account.
The uncle must have had an
Didn't they?
account to the bank. So
I
that's
don't
why I
know,
feel.
guys.
So that's why I feel that probably
It's
they had
called
an agreement.
Scatayan. I don't go into details. I'm not.
Had an agreement, and then she's like, "No what? Dead or alive, you have to help me
really
get
want
this
to know
loan.
her story.
Dead or alive?
I would watch an interview. I would watch an interview about her explaining her story.
Dead or
Because
alive?
that's
get
I
me
was-
this loan.
Level desperation right there.
I'll send you the link. No problem.
Yeah.
All right, guys, our lovely listeners, what would you do in the Souza situation? Are you going to do the same, or are you going to do something different? We would like to know. Please leave that in the comment section below. And while you're scrolling down, please tap the like button as well. I want to say thank you to Mr. Arinze. Thank you, Ade. Thank you, Johnny Boy. Thank you, Seki, for your contributions on this podcast. Until the next episode, please don't let desperation let you withdraw from reality. And always give credit where credit is due. This has been the Scatayan podcast. Use your brain, guys. SCFR.